Welcome back to Omoshiroi Recap. Today, I will recap Boarding School Juliet. Dahlia Academy is attended by two clans from rival countries whose leaders have a forbidden romance. The fight between the clans is led by Juliet Persia, the white cat leader, and Romio and Inuzuka, the black dog leader. When they decide to face each other, Scott, one of the white cats, asks to fight and says he will protect Persia with his life. Inuzuka angrily slapped him, but Persia intervened, saying she didn't need anyone's protection. Persia, however, takes offense when Inuzuka says he can't face a girl. White Cat's superior appears to end the fight. They each return to the dormitories on opposite sides. Seeing Inuzuka gloomy, Hasuki tried to cheer him up. But Inuzuka chose to leave there and remembered that since they were young, he and Persia had been rivals. But since then, he had secretly loved her. Inuzuka was always careful not to hurt her in fights, but since they were rivals, he didn't know how to confess his feelings. When Inuzuka got to the gymnasium, he lost it when he realized Persia was angry with him. Another white cat member showed up with some black puppies. They had made graffiti on the dormitory door. They did so to prove to everyone that they were strong. One of the men violently threw one of the children to the ground, but Persia took a good attitude towards them even though they were from clan rival. Inuzuka realizes that Persia's glory made him like her and wants to tell her how he feels. Then Persia wanted to return to the dormitory alone, but suddenly she was attacked by 3 black dog members and began to defend herself against them with her abilities. Unfortunately, Maru, who planned the attack, threw pepper spray into her eyes. They caught her and cut off her blouse to remind her she was just a girl. At that moment, Inuzuka suddenly appeared to save her. At that time, Persia was not hurt, but she cried and left Inuzuka. Inuzuka felt bad for being thought of as the one who had planned the attack. After Inuzuka defeated the 3 of them at the Black Dog dormitory and punished them for planning the attack, suddenly, she received a message from Persia asking to meet her alone. Inuzuka immediately went to the meeting place. Persia asked him if he had planned the attack or saved her. Persia did not want to be considered weak by others, including Inuzuka. With this situation, Inuzuka then understood the reason Persia was crying before. Persia was the only daughter of a nobleman, but titles and treasures were only inherited by men. That's why she wanted the power to change the law in that world. Persia asked them to fight, and Inuzuka promised that he would attack her with everything he had. But after they started fighting, he gathered his courage and told her he loved her. Persia doesn't believe what he says, and the two continue fighting. Inuzuka says that he can change the world if she is by his side. Persia is moved by his words, so Persia will date him, but Inuzuka must be able to change the world. Even though they are officially dating, they must keep it a secret from everyone. They always fight, but Inuzuka can't help his silly smile. He sneaks up on Persia and runs away from the fight so they can be together. But Hasuki, a girl who likes him, finds them both, making his pretend to attack Persia. Persia gets angry and knocks him out by kicking him in the face. After finishing the sports lesson, Persia changes clothes with the other girl. As they were leaving, Inuzuka suddenly appeared at the window and gave her a rosary to represent his love for Persia. Scott appeared at the next window, thinking Inuzuka was there to attack Persia. He jumped on him, causing them both to fall. Moments later, Inuzuka wakes up in Hasuki's lap, explaining that all the black dogs are after Persia, as they think she is the one who threw them out the window. Inuzuka runs to stop them when a white cat appears and makes a mess. Inuzuka gets angry and accidentally breaks the rosary he wants to give to Persia. Inuzuka was so angry he took the statue from that place and started spinning it about everyone from both clans. At night, Inuzuka thought of throwing the broken gift into the lake, but Persia appeared and asked them to get on a boat together. Persia took the gift and asked Inuzuka to close his eyes. Persia gave her mother's rosary to Inuzuka to show her feelings. A few days later, Inuzuka walks with a boy named Julio, actually Persia. Julio's cuteness attracts the attention of other students, and they always follow Julio wherever he goes, so that ruined their date plan. Inuzuka was worried that Persia would hate the date, but Persia said that she enjoyed the date because she knew more about Inuzuka. Persia hopes to have more dates with him. In the 3 days leading up to their 1-month dating anniversary, Inuzuka calls Persia so they can celebrate together. When Scott and Hasuki show up, they start pretending to fight. Their arrival warns that Princess Char is returning to school. The White Cat students gather to welcome the princess, and then Char asks the black dog to welcome her. Inuzuka refuses and denies, saying that she is not their princess.
君、ペルシアと付き合ってるでしょ。
When Inuzuka attacks suddenly, he is surprised that Char knows their secret and even has a photo of Persia in Giulio's costume. Char will keep it a secret if Inuzuka becomes her loyal dog. Then Char asks him to massage her shoulders. Since Inuzuka has no other choice, he complies and makes everyone think that Inuzuka is doing this out of attraction to Char's big boobs. Char would call him with a whistle, and Inuzuka had to appear like a puppy.
靴下履かせて。あいつらぶっ飛ばしてきて。それは。
After that, she started to torture him by humiliating him and asking to be carried by her. Whenever Inuzuka tried to talk to Persia, Char blew the whistle to prevent them from being together. In the end, Inuzuka became Char's slave. Inuzuka didn't want that to keep happening, so he tried to find Char's weakness. It turned out that Persia and Char were childhood best friends even though they no longer talked like they used to. When their celebration day finally arrived, Inuzuka, with no other choice, broke into Char's room to look for her weakness. But Char guessed what he was planning, entering the room and looking for where Inuzuka was hiding. However, Inuzuka had hidden in the secret entrance behind the mirror. Inuzuka discovered her secret. Char kept some photos of Persia, and she admitted that she loved Persia. Char began to cry, explaining that Persia was her most precious person and could not lose her. Suddenly, Persia knocked on the door to enter because she shared a room together. At that moment, Char became desperate because several pictures were scattered throughout the room. Inuzuka decided to help while Char distracted Persia. Inuzuka collected all the pictures and hid them behind a mirror. After Persia left there, Char wondered why Inuzuka wanted to help her when she had done cruel things to him. Char explained that Persia would be in danger if they were still dating. Even so, Char allowed Inuzuka to spend time with Persia that night. In the Black Dog Hostel, the tradition of intensive learning prepares everyone for the upcoming exams. Persia disguised herself as Giulio to accompany Inuzuka in the study. At that time, Maru did not want to participate in the activity, but knowing that Giulio was there, Maru decided to participate. It looks like Maru has fallen in love with Giulio.
持ち込みは禁止されてるのに、男なら正々堂々戦う方がかっこいいと思う。
At night, Persia returned to her dormitory, and Hasuki appeared looking for Inuzuka. Hasuki they that Inuzuka was hiding something. Inuzuka tried to divert the conversation and felt guilty for lying to his best friend. When everyone was asleep, Inuzuka heard the conversation between Maru and Hasuki. It turns out that Hasuki did the learning tradition just to help Inuzuka. She did it because she had been in love with Inuzuka since she was a child. When Maru left the room, Inuzuka came to ask Hasuki why she worked so hard for him. Hasuki finally confesses that she loves him. Feeling Hasuki deserved an honest answer, Inuzuka revealed that he had been dating Persia. Of course, that made Hasuki go into shock. She would help him fulfill the Black Dog Code that says they must kill themselves if they fall in love with someone from the White Cat. Hasuki then picked up the katana and started chasing him like crazy. Persia saw the commotion and chased after them. Persia was shocked that Inuzuka had told Hasuki about their relationship. Then Hasuki appeared behind Inuzuka with a jealous sword and attacked Persia. Luckily, Char manages to protect her, but she reveals that she also intends to kill Inuzuka. Inuzuka escapes, taking Persia with him, but they are cornered and can no longer escape. Inuzuka then confronts Hasuki and says he still wants to befriend her despite everything. The fake katana slightly injures his head. Suddenly, Persia falls off a cliff, and without thinking, Inuzuka jumps to save her even though he can't swim. Hasuki cried as she realized that Inuzuka loved Persia as much as Hasuki loved Inuzuka. The next day, Hasuki agrees to keep their relationship a secret, but if Inuzuka makes out with Persia in front of her, then Hasuki will cut her down immediately. The sports festival is coming, and everyone is practicing hard to win. While Inuzuka and Persia meet in hiding, Persia thinks that Inuzuka wants to make love to her, but it turns out that Inuzuka just wants Persia's lunch. Blushing, Persia was willing to make lunch for him, but no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't cook anything. Persia burned everything, but she didn't want to disappoint Inuzuka. The next day, Persia gave a basket of delicious food. When Inuzuka opened his mouth to eat, Char appeared, putting her shoes in front of him. Out of jealousy, she stole the basket and ran through the trees. Unfortunately, her shirt got caught on a tree branch, and the basket flew on Scott's head. Scott thought that Persia had made the food for the two of them. The jealous Inuzuka kicked him, and a fight broke out between them. Although Inuzuka won, the basket fell right into the pigsty, so the provisions became pig food. That made Inuzuka sad. Persia confessed that she failed to make the lunch, and the food was from her cook. Then Persia showed some burnt cakes that she had made. Inuzuka happily ate them and started laughing after learning that Persia was also an ordinary girl with weaknesses. Persia angrily says that she has to be perfect. Inuzuka assures her that she can be herself without worrying about anything with him. While everyone is practicing for the festival with enthusiasm, Inuzuka is relaxing. Suddenly, Scott showed up practicing with another white cat. Inuzuka didn't like his face and immediately stepped on him, and the two started fighting. When Inuzuka hit Scott, a girl named Somalia appeared to stop his punch. A man named Abai, a white cat, asks Persia out on a date if he wins MVP at a sports festival. But Persia rejects him because she doesn't like men like him. In the evening, Inuzuka receives a letter from Persia asking to meet her. The next day, Inuzuka comes to help Persia practice for the three-legged race. Inuzuka gets a little nervous about the situation but does very well. During training, Persia asked him if he was too nervous about the festival because the black dog lost because of him last year. Persia hopes that Inuzuka can participate in the festival and will fulfill his request if Inuzuka wins. Instantly, Inuzuka is excited about the festival and determined to win it. The day of the festival finally arrived, and after a few matches, both teams proved good and ended the first round. Inuzuka and Persia talk secretly, and she tells him that her mother is watching the festival. If Persia wins, her mother will tell her father, which makes her proud. The second round starts with Persia jumping high and giving her all to win the match, dropping the pole. Suddenly, Somali appeared to help her but deliberately stepped on Persia's foot hard on Abai's orders. Char saw the incident and worried about Persia, but she continued the competition as if nothing had happened. Persia and Hasuki competed in the next match. Persia was painstakingly leading, and suddenly she fell to the ground. Inuzuka desperately ran towards her, but Char stopped him and explained if he went there, it would make the situation worse. Abai humiliated her by saying they lost the chance to get a guaranteed win because of her. Everyone in the audience started to be disappointed with Persia, but Inuzuka hit the wall hard to make everyone silent. With her leg injured, Persia left the competition. Inuzuka felt bad, and Char explained that it was caused by Abai, who asked Somalia to injure her leg. Persia cried, feeling like a loser, and then Inuzuka asked her to watch the match to see him beat Abai. The final match would determine the winning team. Starting the cavalry battle, Inuzuka insisted on staying on top by riding Maru, so that he could defeat Abai, but they started arguing. At the same time, Hasuki started winning by taking ribbons from some of the white cats, disqualifying them. Suddenly, the girls on her team started feeling strange, and Abai took the ribbons, which put her out of the game. Even some of the black dogs had problems, and some even fell asleep in the middle of the game. In the end, it was just Inuzuka and Maru. Maru was even more excited when they realized that Julia was supporting them. The two finally started working as a team, defeating everyone and leaving only Abai's team. Maru realized Abai's plan that he put sleeping pills in the water to defeat the black dog. Somalia tried to kick Maru, but Inuzuka stopped her because he realized her legs had sharp thorns. Inuzuka gets even angrier because they've hurt Persia. Inuzuka throws Abai into the bleachers with just one hand. Black Dog wins, but Inuzuka challenges Persia to a final showdown. Now, the host's victory depends on who will win that challenge. Their match was fierce. They gave their all to win the match. Despite the pain she was in, Persia's struggle caught the crowd's attention. Inuzuka was intent on putting an end to it and attempted to grab her ribbon. Inuzuka fell into shock, falling to the ground and was disqualified, so the White Cats won the festival, with Persia earning MVP with the most points. All the black dogs were angry at Inuzuka for causing the team's defeat, and they decided to punish him at the festival's closing party. While everyone was having fun, Inuzuka was called a loser and a boob-loving fool. Persia sneaks out of the party to dance with him. Persia thanks him for allowing her to redeem herself and win the festival. Persia promises that she will always protect Inuzuka. Inuzuka works hard for a month as punishment for his previous defeat, and he ends up with a fever. Hasuki takes care of him, but since she temporarily becomes the leader, she is very busy with her new duties and is forced to leave. Inuzuka is alone in the room, and suddenly comes Persia disguised as Julio. Persia took care of him, saying it was a way to thank him. Inuzuka explains that his room has become a warehouse since his defeat at the festival. Persia accidentally found an adult magazine in his room. In desperation, Inuzuka tried to explain his mistake that the magazine belonged to his friend, but Persia ignored him and decided to find food for him. After finishing taking food and drinks, she suddenly met Maru. Maru started questioning a lot because he wanted to know more about Julio. But Persia thought Maru suspected her, so she spilled water on him and ran to find a hiding place. But unfortunately, she ended up in the women's bathroom and was considered a pervert. After a while, Persia finally returned to Inuzuka's room with her clothes soaked. Persia changed her clothes with Inuzuka's clothes. Suddenly, Inuzuka's friend knocked on the door to get his magazine, but the door to his room was locked. Persia was surprised to accidentally hide under the blanket, which made her more nervous. After taking his temperature, Persia realized his fever was gone, and Inuzuka felt better. He thanked Persia for taking care of him, but Persia shyly admitted that she went there just to satisfy her longing.
あなたに会いたいと思ったから来ただけよ。理由なんてないわ。
Sometime later, twin sisters named Kachu and Tiria, the prefects, heard about the fireworks festival. All the students will have fun and see the fireworks together. Meanwhile, Eru, Inuzuka's older brother, asks them to check everything about Inuzuka. Persia hides under a bench, and Inuzuka invites her to watch fireworks at the festival. Although it is quite risky for someone to catch them together, Persia will try to find a way so that they can watch fireworks together. After Persia left, twin sisters who climbed a tree to save a kitten fell on Inuzuka. Inuzuka thought they were just ordinary girls, even though they were 14 years old, but were so smart that they could become prefects. Hasuki came and apologized to them so that Inuzuka would not get punished. Kachu and Tiria saw Inuzuka having a secret conversation under the bench. He tried to make excuses and explained that he was talking to ants, making them see his as lonely. When Inuzuka arrived at his room, Kachu greeted him like a considerate wife. Then, they question why Inuzuka has a rosary. As he is nervous about the situation, they suspect that Inuzuka is hiding something, so they decide to follow him. They go around the festival to look for Inuzuka while patrolling there. Tiria is tempted to have fun, but her older sister reminds her that they are there to monitor the students. Inuzuka meets up with Persia, who is hiding in the bushes, and the two struggle to avoid Kachu with Tiria. Ultimately, they hide in a barrel, making them both nervous about getting too close. Inuzuka finally realized through the hole in the barrel that Kachu and Tiria were eager to have fun. Therefore, Inuzuka challenged them to a competition game to make them enjoy the festival. After finishing, Inuzuka rushed to meet Persia. Unfortunately, the fireworks had ended. Although they couldn't watch the fireworks together, Persia could see the funny side of Inuzuka when meeting that twin sister. Ultimately, they lit a small firework to enjoy the moment together. 1 week before Persia's birthday, Char wanted to prepare a gift for her. At the same time, Inuzuka also wanted to find a gift for Persia. Knowing that Kachu and Tiria will go to Dahlia Street to do some housework, Inuzuka offers to replace them when, in fact, he wants permission to go out to look for gifts. Inuzuka finds a white kitten, but Char is also attracted to it, and the two of them fight over the gift until it breaks. A policeman shows up worried about the princess's safety, as much crime is happening there. Char pulls Inuzuka into a clothing store, making him look like a white cat. Char wants to make him her companion. In return, she will help him choose the perfect gift for Persia. They chose a gift together, and Char took him to a women's lingerie store. Char chooses some panties for Persia, and they disagree on which fits best.
バカ野郎 フリフリのレースに決まってんだろうが。
これと
あ、絶対似合う。やっぱ白だな。
列車
They spend the whole day but still haven't found the perfect gift. Suddenly, they get rained on. Char makes her bra sticky in the rain, teasing Inuzuka to break up with Persia. But Inuzuka taps her forehead and scolds her not to do that. Char decides to relieve Inuzuka. On the way home, she remembers how everyone pampered her as a princess. Persia was the only one who was sincere and told her when she was wrong each time, reflecting how Inuzuka had also corrected her without caring about it. Char was suddenly attacked in an alley by two men from the rival country. Char took down one of them, and just as she was about to take down the other, Inuzuka came to beat the man.
おとなしく。シャル姫様の護衛なんだ。
Char questioned why he helped her, and Inuzuka explained that Persia would be sad if something happened to her. Hearing that, Char laughed at him for his stupid reason. To fulfill their agreement, Char gave a gift of a white bra with a kitten design. In the evening, Inuzuka returned home. Inuzuka was nervous when he saw his brother in his room. Eru questions where Inuzuka got the rosary from, and Hasuki covers it up by saying it was a gift from her. But Eru questions the white bra, leaving Inuzuka even more cornered. Eru reminds him how the West is a country that has complicated relationships with weak peace treaties that can end at any time. If Inuzuka has a relationship with someone from the West, he will be considered a traitor and expelled from school and his family. Eru decided to keep an eye on him for a week. After much training, Persia finally made the perfect cookies to give as a gift to Inuzuka. Char and Scott tasted some of them and liked the cookies. Then Inuzuka appeared surrounded by black dog representatives. At that moment, Persia realized that Inuzuka was acting strange and felt that something had happened to him. Inuzuka was always watched by Eru, even when he went to the bathroom and could never see Persia. Inuzuka confessed that he was just pretending and looking for an opportunity when his brother was off guard. Hasuki was worried he would be expelled for what he did, but he remained confident in his plan. Persia was worried about what was happening, and Hasuki told her everything. When an hour remains before the birthday, Inuzuka sneaks off to see Persia but is caught by his brother. Inuzuka punched him, but Eru was stronger than him, so Inuzuka was defeated easily. Eru locked him in a warehouse as punishment. Knowing this would happen, Inuzuka asked Kachu and Tyria to help him. They freed him, and Inuzuka rushed to his meeting with Persia. But on the way, Inuzuka fainted from weakness and woke up in Persia's lap. Persia cried because she had caused him suffering even though she promised to protect Inuzuka. The next day, everyone is finalizing birthday preparations. Inuzuka tries to talk to Persia, but she avoids him. Inuzuka pushes her against the wall and insists on talking to her, but Persia pushes him away, saying she doesn't want to see him. Hasuki skips school with Inuzuka to cheer him up. They spend the day together having fun, but Inuzuka can't stop thinking about his sad lover. Char sees the cookies that Persia will give to Inuzuka. Strangely, she hasn't given it to him yet. Char went to see Inuzuka to deliver the cookies to him. Inuzuka was very happy to realize how Persia had worked hard in the kitchen for him. Inuzuka decided to do his annual tradition of attacking Persia's party with the other black dogs with a pie war. Scott and the other white cat were armed with pies, so the pie war began. Inuzuka took advantage of the confusion and started looking for Persia's whereabouts. He went around the place but was cornered by some white cats. Luckily, he was saved by Kate, the white cat representative. Inuzuka was confused about why he was helping him. He got out of there with Kate in tow and told him where Persia was. Unfortunately, Inuzuka is again surrounded by white cats. Kate, as a representative of the white cats, intends to end the game. Meanwhile, Persia, who has been trapped in the room by Kate, decides to go out through the window because it's her only escape route. Inuzuka was helpless when fighting Kate. He also realized that he was no match for any representative. Suddenly, Inuzuka heard something outside the window, so he made a plan and tied Kate's legs. After that, he immediately jumped out of the third-floor window. Everyone saw him thinking he was crazy but didn't know that Inuzuka heard Persia upstairs. Kachu and Tyria told Eru that the black dog was having trouble at the white cat's house. While Persia was talking while crying out of concern for him, Inuzuka finally wished her a happy birthday. Inuzuka explains that physical pain is nothing compared to the pain of being ignored by Persia. Then Persia says she loves him and realizes they can overcome anything together. Meanwhile, Eru arrived there and ended the chaos. Inuzuka and Persia have a pie war that ends in a draw. Everyone believes the staging except Eru, who suspects they are dating. He provides some evidence, such as his rosary, a calendar marked on Persia's birthday, and bras. In the end, everyone started doubting them. Eru said that as proof, they should measure the bra to see if it was Persia size. The couple starts to go for interrogation, with everything indicating that it's the end for them. Suddenly, Persia challenges Inuzuka to a duel and says it is a way for them to redeem themselves. This time, they will use real swords, making everyone worried as any mistake could hurt them.
現にロミオは全く手を出していない。
Persia attacks him and forces Inuzuka to fight instead. Persia tells him to fight seriously and says she is willing to hurt to protect herself. Inuzuka realized Persia's hidden message and began to take the battle seriously. It caused everyone to panic. Luckily, the representatives stopped them, and both were taken to the hospital. Their plan worked, and they had understood each other's signals, pointing swords at their rosaries. Inuzuka then gifted Persia a pair of wedding rings. He said he would go be a representative to change the school. Persia was willing to wait for that day and wished they could be together forever. From that day, Inuzuka started to get serious, and he started working with the twins to understand how to become a representative. The couple met again on the boat. Persia puts a ring on Inuzuka's finger and says they look forward to the day they can call Romeo and Juliet. However this story ends, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.